All right, hello, welcome back. 41 North Pod with Trevor and Mario, talking Packers football. We're in week 2, Lions week. Mario, what do you see for this upcoming Lions game? What have you been seeing this week with the Packers after the disappointing week 1?
Yeah, Trev, I guess the biggest thing going on right now is Zarius to the IR. So I think that means he's going to be out 3 weeks. And I heard Matt talk about it, and it makes sense to me. I mean, we want him on the field all the time. We don't want him just having limited reps, rushing the passer on third down. He's such a dynamic player. I think it is best for us to get him completely healthy and then go from there. And hopefully we can get the same to Zedarius we've had the last couple years. What do you think?
I agree. I'd rather have a fully healthy Zedarius out there for the amount of time we need him playing instead of just being that situational player. I mean, he's too good of a talent, and he is, regardless whether he's a captain or not, he is one of the leaders of that defense. You can clearly see that him and Amos, I think, are clear leaders from last year. So you want him in as much of the game as you can. So if that takes shutting him down, and I mean, who knows? You could be risking more injury if you try to play
Yeah,
him hurt too. So I'd rather have a player fully healthy. Most times, even if you're not even talking about Zedarius. So
yeah.
I'd kind of like to know what went into all that, behind the scenes and what the conversations were like leading up to, his situational play in week 1. And he was, I mean, he made some plays even doing that, but he also didn't look like the same as Darius. So I want him out there like he was last year. He could be a major force. When you see him healthy, he's a top 5 rusher in the league. So
100%. I mean, I think too, with it being a back injury, I don't know. I think, if I had to guess, it would be, all right, we'll let you go because he didn't practice much, up until week 1. He was resting a lot. So I
yeah,
think it was, one of those things where, like, all right, let's see how you feel,
I
and
think he
then
only,
we'll evaluate it after that.
I think he only
Um,
practiced like 3 or 4 times. I know he was out there at the Jets joint practices. But other than that, he didn't see much training camp. So I'm okay with shutting him down. But we'll see what this defense has gotten out a little bit more. Even so, I mean, the 38-point drubbing in Barry's very first his debut game is not a good look. We all agree. So he's got to come out here with something this week, I would think. Rashawn Gary's not much, I don't think, of a drop back from Zadarius. Obviously, like to have all 3 of our outside guys, Preston, Zadarius, and Gary all playing. But I think without Zadarius, Gary really gets a chance to shine this week, and I hope to see him do that.
yeah, I hope to see him shine as well. And I think this goes back to the off season, when people were, I don't know if people were mad. I'm not going to necessarily say they were mad, but when we were looking at getting Preston back, this is a good reason right now why we got Preston back. I couldn't imagine the spot we'd be in without Preston, and
Yeah,
Zedarius.
he'd be relying on some real young guys. We got Rivers, and we signed a guy off of the practice squad of the Bucks today with putting Zadarius in IR. Um,
Ladarius.
Ladarius. So you would expect him to, possibly get some reps too because they were already playing Rivers in week 1. So I don't know if that was just because they had to rotate so much with the Florida Heat or what, but these young guys are going to have opportunities because, even when, um, Gary was at next man up, they still had him playing, plenty of snaps. So these other guys will get snaps. So they got to play good because me and you talked about it a couple times already, but we're not, sold on our defensive line being too solid this year. So we're going to have to try to make up for that somehow.
I'm hoping to see a little bit more of my guy. I always get his first name mixed up. I want to say Jake Heflin. Is it Jake? It's Jake,
No,
right? Jack.
Jack,
See, I knew it was Jack. I knew it was Jack, and it's funny because I was sitting here like going in
trash
my
can of
head
dirt, my guy.
between Jack, whatever. But I would like to see him get a little bit more playing time than Lancaster and. Like, let's see what he got. He was doing good in the preseason. I like to see what he got. You said you like Kiki, so I'm all for
I've seen a
Kiki getting a
couple
little bit more
plays out of Kiki in
snaps.
the first game.
But I mean, we just need to see. And the Lions, from everything I'm hearing, the Lions line is no slouch. It's not. It's not going to be just cupcakes for our front seven
Oh, the
against
offensive line, yeah.
their offensive line.
I was going
It's
to say
not
they
going to be
probably
that.
even with the Packers got. I think we still got a solid offensive line starting the two rookies, but I think Detroit probably has the case for second best offensive line in our division. I mean, Minnesota's O line sucks. Chicago's O line doesn't look that great.
I would agree.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm interested to see that. They definitely lack that corner. They're in rough shape.
Yeah.
They lost Okuda, their first round draft from last year. So I mean, you gotta hope Rodgers can take advantage of this. I mean, after that week one showing and the what the Packers been taking all week as far as I think Rodgers got to come out and play good. Period. Point blank. We talk all about the defense. We talk all about everything else. Rodgers got to come out and play good.
Yeah, I need to see at least 30 plus points. If I don't see 30 plus points, to me it's a disappointment from the offensive part. And I need to see a lot more from our front seven on defense. I need to see a lot more pressure. I need to see. I mean, there's a chance that they might run all over us.
Well, I was gonna say,
That would not shock me.
There's a chance they could actually stop our run. Our run could be uphill sledding against them a little bit too. So people could say like, well, maybe you don't need Rodgers as much if our run game's doing good, but I think we need Rodgers to have our run game do good. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think our run game can do good regardless. I think we just abandoned it last week. I don't, the run game doesn't really worry me as much as it does some other people, just because I literally, I mean, AJ Dillon literally averaged 5 yards a carry. So, I mean, if you do that all the way down the field, like you're in pretty good shape. But I think we just literally, for whatever reason, just got away from the run. We just, like, we were running it good. And then I'm pretty sure we threw an interception or something. Like, we just got away for it.
I'm okay with pounding it with Dillon. He seems like he's going to be one of those consistent, get a couple yards kind of guys. Positive yardage almost every time you run with them. Not to say, you don't do the basically same thing with Aaron Jones, but I like to see us use Aaron Jones more, those check downs and out of the backfield throws, like the screens we usually get him on. And then pounding it with Dillon, I think, if those two things are going on, that opens the game up for Rodgers to find, any one of our receivers that can make plays.
And I get it. I mean, you got Aaron Rodgers out there. So, yeah, you want to sometimes finesse it with Aaron and just let him take over. But at the end of the day, we have to remember what made us great the last 2 years. And that wasn't relying on Aaron overwhelmingly. It was making sure we run the ball and pass the ball. And we just got to get back to that, I think, and we'll be just fine on offense.
Yeah, if the game script is any bit different than that first game, we'll be able to run the ball. And I think, LaFleur makes a more conscious effort to make it happen this week after week 1, too. So
I agree.
I don't see it getting away from the Packers in this one. I mean, we could have said that about week 1, but, apparently week 1 was more of an unknown to us than anticipated. That just is an anomaly and hope it's not the norm. But we got to get past the Lions basically because we got tough games, tough sledding coming up here too. So first week at home, you got to take care of business. If you take care of business at home, you put yourself right in the conversation for the playoffs every year. So take care of your business at home, steal some on the road. I think the Packers are a better team, good enough team where they should be favored most games on the road. But we got some tough sledding. The NFC's looking like it's going to be tougher than I thought. You got teams that I didn't really anticipate being as good that had good outings in week 1, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, we can't get too wrapped up in week 1 what people did.
No.
And I like what Aaron Rodgers said. He said, the thing that really matters, the most important games throughout the season are your division games. Because, I mean, if you dominate your division, you see like what Washington did last year. You don't need the best record, to get in the playoffs if you dominate yours. So I'm looking for them to, take this game very serious and do what they have to do.
I mean, you see what LaFleur. I mean, there's so many of these stats that line up for the Packers. LaFleur not losing back-to-back games. LaFleur's record in the division. Rodgers stats coming off of losses like that. I mean, it's awesome. Um, so, I mean, you want to talk a little bit more about the game day experience that's going to happen Monday? You know, with Monday Night Football coming to Lambeau, national game. Everybody getting watching the Packers Monday night. So, you know, a lot of pressure on after that week one. We got the Monday including Packers fans' favorite Adam Schefter. Mario, you probably got a opinion on Adam Schefter, I assume.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of making up chef. That's what I call it. Make him up chef. He's
Oh,
kind of a
clickbait
guy that,
himself.
yeah, Mr. Clickbait, aka Clickbait. He just kind of made stuff up about Rodgers throughout the year. Kind of like he's on the same boat as your guy.
Whoa.
Packer favorite, Jermichael Finley. He
Oh, my
said
guy.
he says your boy Rodgers is what you call not interested. He doesn't care about football, and he also is out of shape and just kind of not in it. What do you think about your boy Jermichael's statements?
Well, I've heard kind of the some of the same sentiments from some Packer fans. You know, some of the same kind of talk that came out of Jermichael Finley. Jermichael Finley is not known for really great statements or being right about the stuff he says about Rodgers in the first place. So he's like one of those guys like, oh, Jennings is talking shit about Rodgers. Okay, big deal. He hasn't been with the team. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know the guy. He doesn't talk to the guy. So, but I've heard other Packer fans talk, same thing. Oh, he's in Hawaii all off season. His hair's too long. He's like a hippie now. I don't buy it. Like, let the dude live what he wants to do on the off season. I'm just worried about his product on the field. You can rightfully criticize him after game one and maybe bring those things up. I don't buy it though. He knows what it's going to take. He wants to win. He wouldn't be out there if he would. It's too dangerous of a game. And to be honest, Rodgers too bright of a dude to be out there to be like sabotage or being out there for the wrong reasons or not giving it 100%. Like they all do. I mean, these guys are professionals. His teammates would sense that in a second if he wasn't giving it. They would know that back in training camp. So I don't buy into any of that. Jermichael Finley's not a great Packer source. My go-to tight end on Rodgers would probably be my guy Crabtree, and I would say he'd be more my guy than Jermichael Finley.
I mean, my thing is with the whole like Hawaii thing is like they have like workout equipment down there too. Like they
These
don't just
guys are
have.
playing in the NFL. They know what they have to do each year. If you come into training camp any step behind and stuff, I mean, that's notice the coaches know it, the other players know it. That's part of the game. These guys are all like elite players. You don't last long if you don't do the right things. So Rodgers has been at the top of the game for so long. I don't buy into
Yeah,
none of
I
that.
mean, they got weight. They got weight room stuff down there. He's probably they're people like that. They don't get to the top of their profession by not having a crazy work ethic. It doesn't happen. I know people that have more talent than people in the NBA, but their work ethic is shit. So they don't make it. You got to have a work ethic to make it that far, or you won't last in the league. What is he? 16 years, 17 years,
17th year. Yeah.
however long he's been in the league. You don't last that long by not having a good work ethic. So I'm not worried about anything. I'm worried. I just want to see this week. I wish we played last night on Thursday, because I'm ready to get there and see us bounce back and kind of get everybody off of our backs right now, and get the fans off their worried seats.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be a good weekend. I mean, it's still a little bit unseasonably warm here, but we got basically no Badgers Saturday, no Packers Sunday, which is unusual. After in
Yeah,
September after fall kicks off. So we get to check out some of those other games on Sunday, and then with the Monday night, I want to check out that Peyton and Eli Monday Night Football broadcast. I've seen some highlights on that, like good. I'm gonna definitely check that out, and it seems like almost a better way to watch than a traditional crew calling the game. So I'll look forward to checking that out, but not this week with the Packers. We'll be in person, hooping, hollering, cheering for the Pack. We'll do some partying beforehand. 41 North likes to post up at Kroll's, but we might be over, by Stadium View, Distillery, maybe in the parking lot this weekend. So, come check it out. We'll bring some videos from the game. So,
yeah, hopefully next week, we're talking about this Packer romping instead of this Packer ass whooping.
bring the energy up a little bit for Packer fans. It'll change the narrative a little bit. Rodgers said the narrative is going to flip pretty soon here, so he didn't seem worried. I'm not worried.
I'm not worried.
Got the Lions coming to town week 2, week 1 at Lambeau. It's going to be fun. Looking forward to it. Mario, any last thoughts here?
No,
any prediction on the game?
I expect the game. I'm gonna go with my boy Cephas to get a touchdown against us. Big Cephas guy.
What do you think about former Packer Jamal Williams?
I mean, best of luck to the guy. He wasn't a Badger, He was here for a couple years. He's a good dancer. Hope the best for him. But I mean, I look for the Packers to win 38. I'm going to go 38-17.
Okay.
38-17, Pack.
All right. I'm going to go 31-23 in a game that's
barn burner.
Not quite as close as it sounds. I'm going to say the Lions score a little bit at the end to make up some of that. But I think the Packers come out strong, and that's what I'm looking for. So
that's what I'm looking for too. See y'all next week.
Go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go, baby. 41 North, bitch.